Well, hello, I'm Esben Smed. I play Nicky Rasmussen in Follow the Money.
And I'm Jeppe Gjervig Gram. I'm the creator of the show.
Okay, I'll start. How did the idea for Follow the Money come about?
Well, I was doing a show called Borgen, which is a political show, and I felt that politics was the most important subject in the world at that time. And suddenly, a bank collapses in New York, the Lehman Brothers, and the repercussions is felt all around the world. And I've just felt the need for shows about finance, and nobody else were doing them. So as soon as I stopped writing Borgen, I took on that subject. I have a question for you.
Your turn.
How did you prepare for the role of Nicky Rasmussen? Did any of your own personal experiences help to inform that character?
Yes and no. I mean, I've never stolen a car in my life, but I had to figure out how to do it. So I talked to a bank robber and some criminals, and I started working as car repairman in a car shop. What's it called? Yeah. So that was what I did. So I worked with cars and stuff like that before we started the show. And then I don't know, Googled stuff. Okay, my turn. How were you able to make white-collar crime so fun and gripping?
I think it comes down to part research and part stupidity. I think the research part is you have to research a lot to find the stories that would actually be interesting, dramatic stories. The problem with financial crime is that it often is just taking place on computers and Excel papers and so on. And you have to find those stories that really has a lot of human and emotional relation drama in them.
Yeah, we're going to get back to that because I have another question.
Lovely, but I have a question for you before.
Okay, I'll try and answer.
It's about Nicky's character. You might have guessed. Nicky's character evolves a lot over these 3 seasons. How did you portray his evolution so authentically? And did you evolve too as an actor?
Wow. I don't know. Did I portray it authentically?
I think so.
You have to decide anyway. But yeah, it was. I mean, we worked on it for some years now, and of course, you develop as a human being and as an actor and the stuff. And then I kind of just said what you wrote. It was easy. Pretty easy.
I think you nailed it.
So my turn. The series is centered around financial crime, but it's also about the inherent traits of human nature like ambition and greed and morality. Can you tell us more about the connection and what message you wanted to convey about human nature in this?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think all drama is inherently about human nature, of course, and I think what really inspired me about the financial crisis was that everybody was talking like it was Wall Street that was hustling Main Street, and I felt that was only part of the explanation. I think greed is not just in Wall Street, greed is everywhere, and greed is in all of us. And I think it's the financial crisis wouldn't have happened if it wasn't like a part of all of us for so long before the financial crisis. I mean, the house market was booming, and everybody was getting rich, not just a few select people on Wall Street, and nobody was asking questions. So for a long time, everybody who owned a house felt that, I mean, that was just nice that they got suddenly rich. They earned more money from their house, from owning a house, than doing their jobs. Yeah. And something is definitely wrong in that kind of system. And I thought that was interesting, that it's not just about Wall Street, it's about all of us. All right, my turn.
Yeah, your turn.
Nicky is a good guy at his core who ends up doing a lot of bad stuff because of his circumstances. Do you think Nicky is a representation of human nature? Is there a Nicky in all of us?
I think there's definitely a Nicky in you because you wrote it. And no, I think there's a Nicky in all of us, but I think it's... as you said before, it's about human nature and everything is. So I think there's every character in every one of us, if we can relate to it, that is. And I could relate to the Nicky part, even though my life my personal life is completely different. But there are parts that you can always relate, I guess, in a character. So that was what I did, and yeah, you made it pretty easy. So it was fun to do as well. Okay, it's my turn. Right?
Yeah, it is. Sorry.
Yes. Okay, so before Follow the Money, you were a writer on the series Borgen, which you also talked about, and which was a political Nordic Noir. So you've covered politics and you've covered the financial world with this one. And what's next for you?
I'm developing several shows on my own, but after having spent 5 years writing Borgen and 6 years writing Follow the Money, I'm taking some time to develop the new ideas. So I have a few ideas, both in Danish and in English, American, in the making, but we'll see which of them, gets into production first. Obviously they all somehow talking about the pillars of society and all of that, but
so you're still fascinated by that?
Yeah, I don't think I'm able to write without speaking about society. I thought actually that this was true about all writers, but I had a dinner with some other writers, Danish writers, colleagues recently, and I said that to them, and they started laughing, and they said, well, we never think about our stories like that. So maybe it's I'm just obsessed with the connection between my dramatic material and society.
Oh, and there's an extra question. So will I be starring? It's a weird question. I don't know. Will I be starring in all of these new shows that you're?
All of them.
Yeah.
All of
the
them.
ones that get green lighted for
exactly.
production. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's news for you guys. Nice.
I got a final question for you.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Good. How would you describe Follow the Money to someone who is not familiar with the series and perhaps is afraid of subtitles?
Well, first of all, you need to not be scared of subtitles because they're super cute. Every household should have a subtitle. It's a nice thing. And also because you learn a lot with different languages and stuff. It's not that... we're brought up with subtitles, so that's just normal to us, right? To always look at the subtitles beneath and watch the screen is not a problem.
All over, in Denmark, we're so used to subtitles, and all the shows are subtitled here, and it's not a problem for us. And then when Borgen and the different shows had premiered in the UK, everybody was actually enjoying the subtitles, which I was a little bit surprised about because it was so new to them, and people were actually learning a little bit of Danish from having the subtitles and hearing the actors speak.
Yeah.
So people started contacting me and always started saying hi, which means hi. That's your first Danish language lesson. And using Danish words in their English sentences if they were into like Borgen or Follow the Money. So I think you can learn a lot from subtitles. How would you convince them to watch?
It's a good drama series because it's like the thing about greed and the human nature and, taking all the wrong choices, doing all the wrong things, but for the right reasons, or sort of. It's about human beings on different social ladders in society, trying to make it for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of about all of us in different positions.
I think so.
Through the years while we did it, I could really relate to it. It was easy to relate to, and people I know that said, "Oh, financial crime, I don't want to watch that." But then when they watched it, they say, "But that's you and me," and I think you captured that very well. I really do. So it should be. I would give people just a little bit of it, and then they would be hooked, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go.